Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Ajit Kumar Mahapatra from the Department of Physics and Astrophysics, University of Delhi, Delhi, India. Today we are going to discuss about the module Atomic Force Microscopy, generally termed as AFM. The part 1 we will study today. This comes under the chapter Surface Morphology from the paper Characterization of Materials 2. So students, let us see what we are going to learn in this module. We will learn about the basic concepts of AFM. We will study different components of AFM and the force measurements and beam deflection detection leading to scanning sample surfaces and how it processes to imaging the surfaces that we will study. Imaging the surface features at nano or micrometer scale provide realization of systems at the atomic and molecular level and helps gaining in-depth knowledge that could lead to new research discoveries and technological developments in the areas of material science, polymer science, electrochemistry, life science, biophysics, biotechnology and nanotechnology. Atomic force microscopy was invented by Binning in 1986. Currently, AFM is used to map and study the three-dimensional surface topography at micro-nanometer scale for various types of materials including metals, semiconductors, soft biological samples and conductive and non-conductive materials in different environments of air, liquid and vacuum. AFM can generate images at atomic resolution with height resolution at angstrom scale precision. Recently, AFM is used as a technique for performing manipulations of nano objects and in nano imprint technology for writing features at molecular dimensions using molecular ink. Basic working principle of AFM. The basic principle is based on capturing the interaction force between an interacting probe that is supported on a flexible cantilever of tip dimensions at molecular level and surface of the sample. Depending on the process of interaction, different operation modes could be defined. There are three different important stages in AFM and was schematized in figure 1, combined to generate the three-dimensional topography of the sample's surface at atomic resolution, including surface sensing, detection of cantilever deflection and image processing. Surface sensing. A cantilever with molecular sized tip is used to scan over surface of the sample and measure the forces between the cantilever of dimension less than 10 nanometer and surface at very short distances, nearly 0.2 to 10 nanometer. As the tip approaches the surface, attractive force between the surface and tip causes the cantilever to attract towards the surface. With the cantilever approaching more closer to the surface, the tip is almost in contact and develops repulsive force, resulting deflection of the cantilever away from the surface. This process of deflection of cantilever due to surface sensing is performed at every point of the cantilever surface positioning during scanning. The interaction of cantilever with surface causes bending of the cantilever in the AFM and is schematized in figure 2. Detection of cantilever deflection. A laser beam is used to detect the position of the cantilever throughout the process during approaching with attractive force of the tip towards the sample surface and deflecting away from the surface due to repulsive force on reaching more close to the sample. An incident beam is reflected from the top of the cantilever and monitored the change in the direction of the reflected beam with respect to the cantilever position. A position sensitive photodiode, generally termed as PSPD, capable of detecting changes in Armstrong precision, is used to track any slight changes in the cantilever. During measurement of the surface curvature, the cantilever deflects when the AFM tip passes over the top of a surface feature, and the subsequent change in position of reflected beam in the scanning direction is recorded through the PSPD. Then the imaging processing. An AFM images the topography of a sample surface by scanning the cantilever over a region of interest. The raised and lowered features on the sample surface influence the deflection of the cantilever, which is monitored by the PSPD. By using a feedback loop to control the height of the tip above the surface is maintained at constant laser position. Feedback mode operation. Feedback control is used in AFM for maintaining a consistent interaction or force between the probe and surface. The schematic of a typical feedback system for AFM is given in figure 3. The feedback control measures the force between the surface and probe, activates the piezoelectric ceramic to establish a relative position of the probe and surface to maintain a consistent force between them at a user-specified set point level. For example, in contact mode, when the control signal, the cantilever deflection, is above the set point, the feedback loop tries to reduce the force between the cantilever and the sample by contracting the piezo in Z axis and moves the tip a little further away from the surface. When the deflection is less than this specified set point, the feedback loop expands the piezo in the Z direction to move the tip closer to the surface of the sample. Although signal processing varies according to the image mode used, the feedback loop always performs essentially the same function. The feedback system used to control the tip sample interactions and the resulting images are optimized for each new sample. This optimization is accomplished by adjusting various gains in the feedback circuit of the scanning probe microscopy. In AFM, the feedback control electronics take an input from the force sensor and compares the signal to a set point value. An error signal then sent through a feedback controller. The output of the feedback controller then drives the Z piezo through a high voltage amplifier. The most common form of feedback control for AFM is PID controller, consisting of a proportional P, integral I and derivative D controllers, and takes the error signal and processes it as Z. Output of the feedback controller is equal to Px Z error plus Lx integration Z error dt plus dx dz error by dt, where P, I and D are the gain settings appropriately selected for tracking the surface by the probe as it is scanned. The I term facilitates the probe to move over large surface features, and P and D terms allow the probe to follow the smaller high frequency features on a surface. When the PID parameters are optimized, the error signal image is minimized as shown in figure 3. The higher the feedback gains, the faster the feedback loop reacts to changes in topography while scanning. However, since the AFM is not infinitely fast in responding to the output of the PID controller, the increase of the feedback gains to a certain point is limited. Beyond this, feedback loop becomes unstable. This is the limiting factor for the maximum achievable scan speed. Now let us see what are the different components of AFM. First, the piezoceramic scanner. Scanning probe microscopy scanners are composed of piezoelectric materials. The scanner is constructed by the independent combination of piezoelectrodes for X, Y and Z position coordinates into a single tube or flexor scanner. The scanner formed can manipulate samples and probes in the 3 dimensions with highly accurate precision. These are ceramic materials extended or contract with respect to the polarity of the applied voltage gradient and conversely develop electrical potential in response to mechanical pressure. In this way, movements in X, Y and Z direction are possible. Raster scanning. A series of voltage ramps are created by the X, Y signal generators to drive the X and Y piezoelectric ceramics in the piezo tube scanner of AFM, which is shown in figure 6. The scan range is set by adjusting the minimum and maximum values for the applied voltage. The scanning position is set by offsetting the voltages to the ceramic. Finally, the scan orientation is rotated by changing the phase between the signals. Hysteresis. Differences in the properties of material and dimensions of piezoelectric element develops signals with scanner responding in a different way to the applied bias. This response is conveniently recorded in terms of sensitivity, which is the ratio of piezo movement to piezo voltage, that is, how far the piezo expands or contracts with the applied voltage. Sensitivity is not a linear relationship with respect to scan size. Piezo materials have inherent nonlinearities and shows hysteresis. The effect of nonlinearity and hysteresis can be seen from the curves presented in figure 7. As the piezo expands and retracts throughout its full range, its movement with applied bias is reduced in the beginning of the extension but larger at the end. The same process is repeated when the piezo is retracted from its position. This produces forward and reverse scan directions to show hysteresis behavior between two scan directions. Nonlinearity and hysteresis can cause feature distortion in SPM images and has to be properly corrected. Creep. The drift of the piezo displacement after a DC offset voltage is applied to the piezo ceramic is known as creep and occurs either by changes in X and Y offsets or while the usage of frame up and frame down compounds such that piezo rapidly travels over a large area to restart the scan. When a large offset is applied, the scanner stops scanning and a DC voltage is applied to the scanner for the movement of offset distance. The majority of the offset distance is moved rapidly by the scanner and slows down for the remaining distance. Resuming the scan after a large offset distance moves with the scanner moving slowly in the direction of the offset. Creep is the result of this slow movement of the piezo over the remaining offset distance once scanning is resumed. Creep appears in the image of an elongation and stretching of features in the direction of the offset for a short duration of time after the offset. The next is the probe. The probe represents a micro machined cantilever with a sharp tip at one end, which is brought into interaction with the sample surface. Each probe has a different specifications and shape. The two most common geometries of AFM cantilevers are rectangular and triangular. Generally, V-shaped cantilevers are used due to low mechanical resistance to vertical deflection and high resistance to lateral torsion. The dimension of the cantilevers ranges from 100 to 200 micrometer in length, 10 to 40 micrometer in width, and 0.3 to 2 micrometer in thickness. Integrated cantilevers are usually made from silicon or silicon nitride. They are characterized by their force constant and resonant frequency, which have to be chosen according to the sample to be studied. Additionally, an optical detection system and electronics for the management of scanning procedures and data acquisitions are necessary. AFM cantilevers are typically made either of silicon or silicon nitride, where silicon nitride is reserved for softer cantilevers with lower spring constants. The dimensions of the AFM cantilever are very important as they dictate its spring constant or stiffness. This stiffness is fundamental to governing the interaction between the tip and the sample and can result in poor image quality if not chosen carefully. The relationship between the cantilever's dimensions and spring constant is defined by the equation K is equal to E W T cube divided by 4L cube, where W is the cantilever width, T is the cantilever thickness, L is the cantilever length, and E is the Young's modulus of the cantilever material. In the contact mode, the cantilever is less than a few angstrom away from the surface of the sample, and the interatomic force acting between the probe and the sample is repulsive. The magnitude of this repulsive force increases as the probe begins to contract the surface, and at a later time it causes the cantilever to bend up. In the non-contact mode, the cantilever is held on the order of 10 to 100 angstrom away from the sample's surface. Thus, as a result of long-range van der Waals interaction, the interatomic force between the probe and the sample is attractive, as shown in the blue area in curve of figure 8. Attractive force near the surface is caused by a nanometer sized layer of contamination present over the surfaces at ambient conditions. The amount of contamination depends on the environment in which the microscope is being operated. One complete cycle of the probe approaching towards the surface of the material, getting into contact and bending away from the sample is demonstrated in figure 9. At the right side of the curve of the portion A, the scanner is fully retracted and the cantilever remains undeflected, since the tip is not in contact with the sample. As the scanner experiences the attractive van der Waals force, the cantilever comes close enough to the sample surface. In position B, the cantilever suddenly bends slightly towards the surface. As the scanner continues to expand, the probe experiences a repulsive force in position D, and the cantilever deflects away from the surface, approximately linearly following the blue color curve. After full extension at the extreme left of the plot at position C or in black color, the scanner begins to retract. The cantilever deflection retracts the same curve. In position E, the scanner retracts enough to make the tip spring free. Beam deflection detection. The laser is focused to reflect from the cantilever and onto the sensor. The position of the beam in the sensor measures the deflection of the cantilever, and hence the force between the tip and sample. The probe of the AFM scans the sample, and the readings for the displacement of the cantilever is collected by the photodiode through a laser beam reflected from the back of the cantilever. The photodiode is divided into 4 parts as shown in figure 10. When the laser is displaced vertically along the position top 1 and 2 and bottom 3 and 4, a bending due to topography is developed. While if the displacement is horizontally along the left 1, 4 and right 2, 3 positions, a lateral force is produced, that is torsion due to friction. Scanning of the sample surface. The tip passes back and forth in a straight line across the sample. In a typical imaging mode, the tip sample force is held constant by adjusting the vertical position of the tip. The tip is brought within nanometer range of the sample. A topographic image is built up recording the vertical position when the tip is rastered across the sample using a computer, as shown in figure 11. During contact with the sample, the probe predominantly experiences repulsive van der Waals forces in contact mode. This leads to the tip deflection as described below. As the tip moves further away from the surface, attractive van der Waals forces are dominant, which are seen in non-contact mode. Stiffer cantilevers protect against sample damage because they deflect less in response to a small force. This means a more sensitive detection scheme is needed. The radius of tip of cantilever limits accuracy for the image analysis and resolution, as shown in figure 12. Now let us compare the images we get from AFM and electronic microscopes. The optical and electron microscopes can easily generate two-dimensional images of a sample surface. The magnification is as large as 1000x for an optical microscope and a few hundreds of thousands for an electron microscope. However, these microscopes cannot measure the vertical dimension in z direction of the sample, the height in case of particles, or depth in case of holes or pits on the surface features. AFM, which uses a sharp tip to probe the surface features by raster scanning, can image the surface topography with extremely high magnifications up to 1 million x, comparable or even better than the electronic microscopes. In AFM, the measurement is performed in 3 dimensions: the horizontal xy plane and the vertical z dimension. The resolution or the magnification at z direction is normally higher than x and y. So, students, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. The AFM can generate an accurate topographic map of the surface features. The interaction of the probe with the force field associated with the surface of the sample provides the dependence of the force upon the distance between the tip and the sample. A topographic image is built up on the computer by recording the vertical position as the tip is rastered across the sample. The force measurements and beam deflection detection leading to scanning sample surfaces.